right. What is up, everybody? It is your boy Zach. Today is our rest day. So we are gonna do some cardio this morning. It is super duper cold today. Like 18 degrees when I woke up, so hopefully the noise isn't too bad. I know this thing makes probably more noise than the little space heaters there, but yeah, those things make a little bit of distracting noise, so see if I can remove that in editing. But yeah, doing a little bit of cardio today. We had some wonderful, amazing guests come in yesterday, so it's a little bit busy. We were catching up and stuff, hanging out, so I ended up not posting the pool day video, but I've got all the footage edited. I just need to, what I'm gonna do is make this stationary bike soliloquy, and then I'll probably overlay this on top of the pool day footage. And the only bummer is I won't be able to watch the reps to assess my technique, but it's very fresh. I only did it yesterday, so we can discuss how that went for me. And it's been a while. I haven't done cardio in a while. I've been hitting my 10,000 steps every day, but when I'm cutting especially, I think probably on rest days, even if I'm maybe gonna get 10,000 steps, I'm gonna go ahead and do cardio anyway, just to make sure I'm kind of like normalizing when it comes to my activity level on my workout, like my lifting days. So just getting the heart rate up, trying to get up to about 135 or so, and then hang out around there. So just playing with the resistance a little bit. But let's talk about that pool day yesterday. How was it? Well, started off with barbell bicep curls, and those are wonderful, of course. You know, I put them in there for swag, and it was max swag. I felt it 100%. Really nice exercise, and because I haven't done them in so long, the variation helped give me a little bit more burn on those. So let me see. Yeah, biceps are nice and sore, like 7 to 8 out of 10. So they definitely got worked yesterday. And my whole back, maybe the like rhomboids are not as sore as they could be. Actually, yeah, whole back is pretty sore, and then the like inner lats especially. So it's kind of a bummer. You guys will see it in the footage too. Started off with those barbell curls. Went great and everything, perfect. Those will stay the way they are for the rest of the meso. Then I moved to, I was gonna do chest supported dumbbell rows. But when I was pulling, it just doesn't feel great. And especially with the heart rate monitor, I think what I might do is keep those in single arm, but then I will just take the heart rate I just won't wear the heart rate monitor for the full day. I won't have that metric, but who cares? I'm not actually using these data points for anything, so it's not that big of a deal. So I think I'll go ahead and do that, and that should help make it more comfortable. And so yeah, we'll try it out that way, see if I like it a little bit better. So those were next. Single arm chest supported, and the chest support, as you guys will be seeing, is the incline bench that I have. I put it at 30 degrees, and I just get my feet set nice and stable, a little bit behind my hips, and then kind of like prepare my back. You let the dumbbells slowly drift down, as we do with almost everything on the eccentric, nice and slow, using my back to release the tension down to the bottom, and then pulling as high as I can back up, focusing on pulling from the elbows, not with the hands. And they usually feel great. I've done that exercise before, but I think I did the same thing back then. It was last year, sometime like mid last year during the summer. We were doing these, and I liked them a lot, but I think I did end up having to take off the heart rate monitor because it's right there. So if I'm resting on a bench, it's like pushing into my sternum, just not very comfortable. So I'll make that adjustment. And then, so that's the first two exercises, barbell curls, chest supported dumbbell rows. And then my third exercise, man, come on, heart rate, what the hell? My goodness. Wants to hang out at 120 here. Come on, bro. I have to get up here. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Let's see. Let me check the app real quick. And of course, you open up the GoPro app. They're like, here, you want to buy 15 things? Here, buy the stuff. I'm like, no. Oh, I can't actually check it while it's running. Oh, well, that's fine. Okay. Let me I want to make sure you guys can see me. I'm not just a talking, moving torso with no head in it. Let's see. We'll do that. That ought to do it there. Sorry for shaking you guys up a little bit there. Okay, so as I was saying, the barbell curls, chest supported dumbbell rows, and then we move to, I guess I've been calling those, I don't know if there's an actual definition or a difference, but I've been calling the overhand thumb under pull-ups, I've been calling them pull-ups, but then I was calling the underhand ones chin-ups. I think maybe I've got it backwards. I'm not entirely sure on that, but anyway, we're doing underhand. And the reason I did that is to hopefully get some more bicep stimulus, although I think it definitely worked, and I want to keep them in, but boy did it hurt my wrists. Man, it was super duper uncomfortable on the wrists. The last time I tried to do underhand pull-ups, I felt the same thing. I was hoping the VersaGrips might help, but I think the VersaGrips are actually making it worse. And it's not, I don't think it's the actual grip's fault. It's not the tool. I think it's just my anatomy, the way that my wrists are used to experiencing a pull movement like that. Just feels crummy. Like my left wrist actually feels like my forearms are sore, and my wrists, when I press on them a little bit, put some tension, there's a little bit of pain. So I'm like, that's a bad sign. I don't want to keep doing that for 5 weeks and have my wrists get angry at me. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna try them without the VersaGrips, and perhaps, since I'm doing more of a bicep focus, perhaps use a heavier resistance band, and that way I can still do a lot of reps, but I don't have to use the grips to take my grip out of the equation. It just gets overall easier because there's more resistance. I'll try that and see how that goes, and then we'll kind of go from there. But overall, I mean, it was a really great session. I definitely, all the target muscles that I wanted to hit, I definitely feel them today as far as markers of hypertrophy stimulus. And then another good thing is that the push day, which is now 2 days ago, definitely cooked my chest, triceps, and front delts. And even the side delts from the those seated dumbbell overhead presses, side delts are nice and cooked as well. So we're looking good there. All right, there we go. Got the heart rate up. I guess I'll just have to keep pumping it while it's on this lower resistance. So it's good. Good pull day. Push day is fantastic. The leg day, what was it? There was something I was changing with the leg day, right? And I think I had some sort of issue that I was trying to resolve there. Can't entirely remember, but I don't know if they will want to be on camera, but at least one of our guests wants to lift with me. So that's gonna be fun. I always love having a lifting partner, someone else to suffer with me. You know, it's a lot more fun to suffer with other people. Misery loves company, right? You guys have probably heard that phrase before. I guess I'm the misery, and I love company. So, or I'm feeling the misery. I don't know. I'm just waffling now, but yeah. It's great. Having a good first week here cutting. I did make a change. So I noticed that I've weighed in at 183 every day so far. And it's been almost, this will be the 4th day. So, you know, we're halfway through a week. My weight hasn't changed at all. So I'm gonna drop the deficit one tiny tick down and see if I can elicit a response by the end of this first week. So instead of 150 calories under, now we're going to be going 250 under. And that's what I did last time when I did my mini cut, and that right away just boom, got me dropping weight, and then eventually, you know, you'll stall out. You can't diet for that long. I mean, you can, but if you diet for too long, you're risking catabolism of skeletal muscle. So you're losing muscle mass, the muscle you want, that makes you look jacked. Your metabolism will slow down, because when you eat less food, there's less metabolism taking place. And, you know, if you're undernourishing your body chronically, it's just not good, man. I mean, you're, you know, obviously, you know, malnourishment. I guess that would be a version of malnourished, just not getting enough food. There's probably another more accurate term for it, but I want to avoid that. So dropping it down a little more. We'll see what we get. And then I'm hoping, the chronometer is saying it's the 250 deficit, 250 calorie deficit. Chronometer is saying that's half a pound a week, which in the 5 weeks, it should be 2.5 pounds of fat. So, you know, that's a pretty good amount. I should be able to see a difference. So just a little update there on the nutrition side of things. I'll probably make a if it fits your macros. I think perhaps the next rest day that I have, I will make one of those just to show you guys what this initial phase of cutting looks like. It's not going to be very different, obviously, because 250 calories is like 2.5 apples. So it's, you know, or 16 potato chips, right? It's nothing. That's like a very small. That just shows you too the calorie to volume ratios in different foods. You know, if you look on like a bag of potato chips, it's like 14 to 18 chips is a serving, and it's usually like 150 to 250 calories per serving. Like if you crushed up those chips, those 16 chips, and put them in a pile, and then compared that to that many calories in broccoli or apples, like that's the thing too. Sure, most people don't want to sit and eat half a pound of broccoli. I love broccoli, like a good steamed broccoli with plenty of salt and garlic powder, fire. But I can see why people might not like that. But I mean, even just look at fruit. You can eat like 3 bananas, 3 whole large bananas, and get a similar calorie content, but you're getting like a tiny amount of protein, tiny amount of fat, mostly carbs, but you're also getting vitamins, vitamin C, and minerals. And I'm sure there's some antioxidant properties in bananas as well. So you get so much more volume. And then apples, of course, apples are delicious. Have yourself like 2.5 pink lady apples. That's going to be a lot more satisfying, and it's going to take a lot longer to consume that. You're going to get to enjoy it a lot longer than if you just had the chips. And potato chips are trash. It's not only is it fried starch, which anytime you cook starches at very high temperatures. Now, if I'm wrong, you guys correct me on this, but I believe that when you cook something like a potato at a very high temperature, like frying it in super hot fat, you run the risk of producing acrylamide, which I think is a, oh my goodness, what is it called? Carcinogen. I think acrylamide is implicated in some cancer-causing activity. So, not great there. I'm not out here saying if you eat potato chips you're going to get cancer or anything like that. I don't think that's true. But it's just not nearly as good for you as the alternative I'm proposing here. So, you know, and the macros, sure, the carbs are no problem in the potato chips, but the problem is the fat. You're going to get like 10 plus grams of fat in that one serving, which, you know, based on my macros, let me see. Based on my macros right now, look at chronometer here. Yeah, my maximum allowable fats per day is 73 grams. So, you know, if I'm getting 15 from a little snack of potato chips, well, that's not good. Now, you know, it's like a sixth of my daily fat allowance to something that's not filling, it's not health promoting, but it is delicious. And I guess that's kind of where the concept of balance comes in. Because one of the things I did yesterday, which may have something to do with me not losing, but it should have been just today being a difference, not these other days that I've weighed in and I've been 183 every day. I wouldn't necessarily expect that those other days, but like today, I would, and that's because we went with our friends to eat at this place in Addison called Best Thai. It's like my favorite place to get vegan food right now, because they have like a whole portion of their menus vegan options, and that place is super delicious. Staff are really friendly. It's a really cool looking venue as well, the or a restaurant. I don't know if it counts as a venue, but yeah, they've got like really neat decorations everywhere. They usually got some pretty chill music playing, you know, it's just great vibes. Bring the whole family up there and eat. But I had maybe a cup and a half of brown rice, right? And it wasn't like fried or anything. And then they have it's a crispy soy beef. So it's like crispy garlic beef, but it's made of soy product instead. And it's freaking delicious. So the only thing, when you go to a restaurant, when you eat restaurant food, you're gambling, especially if you're on a diet or you're trying to lose weight. Anytime you eat out from anywhere, I did my best to estimate the macros, and I try to overestimate, because one of the things that restaurants do, and it's not a conspiracy, it just makes sense when I describe this, it makes sense. Restaurants put way more oil and sugar and salt into their food than most people do when they're cooking at home. Like when I cook at home, let's say I'm dicing up some tofu to sear it up for a meal. Okay, it's like half a tablespoon max of extra virgin olive oil. Just a quick spritz with those little compressed air cans. I'll just give it a quick one like that, and then, you know, that's minimal. Maybe I'm adding 10, 15 calories to my portion, because you got to remember, if you're cooking for a family, you're not eating all of that portion. So, but back to the restaurants, they're trying to make it taste good. They want to make it delicious because they want customers to come back. They want customers to eat more of their food because, you know, this is capitalism. Our way of doing things is you make a good product, you make something people want, and then they come buy it. And so, you know, restaurants are no exception to that. They're also trying to make a living. And so they add all this extra stuff to it. But the problem is, it's not health promoting, and in fact, you know, if you're on a diet, it could absolutely sabotage your efforts. So, and that's a real shame. Like if you eat clean all day and then you're like, oh, let's go out to eat, and then you end up 400, 500 calories over. Well, now you just spent all day exercising willpower and being vigilant, only to kind of blow it with the last meal of the day. So that's the risk you run. Now, there's a balance to that, because not everyone wants to be a freak. Even me. I used to be much more prone to being an obsessive freak about things, especially like diet. And not only has it burned me in the past, it also really is antithetical to, you know, who I want to be today. I don't want to be acting like I know, or I'm 100% right about everything, or, you know, being overly confident or obsessive. And so I try to strike a balance with things. So when it comes to my dieting right now, yes, my goal is to eat the stated number of macros and calories and everything, but if there's some experiential component in my life that involves me going outside of this routine that I'm on, but only just for a small deviation, or even if it's a longer deviation, I will just do my best to incorporate that and fit that in to my philosophy on dieting and pursuing things gently, and try not to deprive, because you don't, you know, if you're driven and you want to be world class at something, yeah, you really can't have balance. You need to go 100% all in. But if you don't have to do that, and if you've already accepted other responsibilities, you've already bought into other responsibilities in your life, you know, it might seem good to, you know, reject the way that everyone else is, and you're like, nah, I do my own thing, like I'm not influenced by anyone else. That it might feel powerful for you, and it may help you reach your goals, but you're limiting yourself in terms of being able to experience the fullness that life has to offer. And you can be smart about it too. You don't have to just, you know, fire a cannon into your diet plan and blow the whole thing up and gain 15 pounds over a week. You don't have to go crazy. But give yourself a little bit of a break, man. You don't have to go like I don't, like, it's that restaurant. I could have just gotten brown rice. I just had that. Then I pretty much know the macros to that, because it's very simple, very easy to measure. I can essentially eyeball what a cup of cooked rice looks like. I've scooped a cup of cooked rice so many times. But why? And especially if I'm able to balance the rest of the day, just eat more protein, bring in less carbs and less fat from my other meals, we're Gucci, and that's what I did. So, big long story, but essentially, you can adapt to things. Don't, just because, I talked about this previously, just because you had a small deviation or maybe you slipped up on your diet or something like that and you're super worried about it, be kind to yourself. Give yourself a little bit of a break. And I find a lot of times that if I do that, I'm less worried about the thing I messed up, and so I'm more able to focus on the thing that I want and to get back onto that track and pursue my goals even harder. So that's my thinking on that, but cardio is done. Yeah, I'll throw this up on top of the pull day footage, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for leg day, perhaps with a special guest. We'll see. I don't know, but I don't know if he wants to be filmed, but yeah, I'm gonna head out, guys. Hope you all have a good one. See you.